Members of the country's creative and cultural services want changes in the Copyright Amendment Bill. Earlier today, they marched to the Gauteng legislature to register their protest against this bill. The artists are concerned that the fair use clause in this bill would allow companies to exploit their work without permission and compensation. Now they want the president, Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, not to sign this bill into law without reviewing the fair usage clause as it is in its current version. Reporter Theodore Mashele covered the march. He's back from downtown Johannesburg, joins us now in our studios just to give us an update and tell us what happened. Theo, welcome back. So the artists, just yesterday we saw them expressing themselves that they want to take action, including this protest march today, against this particular clause in this amendment bill. Yes. What is it about this clause that has having them becoming so concerned and want it to be changed?
Yeah, well, Brendan, first of all, the artists wanted to highlight that they're not against the bill as a whole. So there are particular things in the bill that are actually in support of artists and they protect artists. But what they're against is the fair use clause. And this clause basically allows practitioners to use work without compensation and then go and argue that it's with fair use. I did speak to a copyright practitioner, Chola Matamela, who did explain exactly what this clause is. And this is what she had to say.
My belief, Mina, as a legend, there is nothing about us without us. Whether it's fair use or fair dealing, it can never be enshrined in the bill without consulting us. Nothing about us or with, I don't favor no one, because even the fair dealing has been there for donkey years, and our artists and our legends and our icons are still struggling today. They have no heritage, they have no legacy. Even their children do not know where to go to get their legacy. Amen.
Apologies for that. That is not your copyright practitioner. Yeah. That's Messi Pakela, one of the artists who took part in the march.
Yes, that is Messi Pakela, and her point is one that even Mzwakhe Mbuli raised earlier on this week, saying the legends that we know and the people that we know as our superstars here in South Africa die poor. And the reason why they die poor is because they don't earn from their royalties. They only earn from their sales in the albums. And that is why they want to contest against this.
I mean, the other point I heard them making was Yvonne Chaka Chaka saying they don't want in 30 years' time to have similar occurrences like some of the artists who've already died very poor.
Yeah, Mama Yvonne actually mentioned a couple of people, including Mahlatini, and saying, why do people, and Tata Joe Mafela, and saying, why do we have artists who are so such superstars in the country, but when they die, people have to be asked for donations. Meanwhile, their music is still being played in music and other mediums. And this bill allows for their music to be used without them being compensated. Hence, they would even get to a stage where they can die poor.
Yeah, they don't want that fair use clause at all in terms of that. So what's the plan of action now?
Well, they submitted a memorandum right now, and they did get a representative from the ANC to come in and accept the memorandum. And what is going to happen is that they said they were going to put a board together, including the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture within that board, to review the bill and to look at the demands which are placed within the memorandum and review the bill and see if ever they can come up with ways to navigate within the bill that will be more beneficial to artists and heed their grievances.
Yeah, I understand we have that bite that talks about the fair use clause. Let's take a listen.
Yeah.
The issue that we have here is that the bill is introducing very broad exceptions to copyright. So essentially what happens is that when you have copyright in a work, you can allow others to do certain things with your work, but they must pay you and they must ask for your permission. The current Copyright Act, which does need to be amended, provides for exceptions to this rule that are called fair dealing. And these are a closed list of circumstances where nobody can ask for or necessarily ask for your permission to use your work without compensation. What fair use does is that it creates a situation where someone can use your work without your permission, without compensating you, and then claim fair use as a defense for the copyright infringement, which will mean that these people over here, if somebody uses their works without their permission and doesn't pay them, and they claim copyright infringement, the infringer will then, they will have to take the infringer to court. And then if they take them to court, the most that they can get is what they would have gotten had they been paid in the first place. Okay.
Okay, that explanation there, setting it very clearly why the artists were marching earlier today against this fair use clause part of this copyright amendment bill. They don't want it because it would lead to more exploitation of artists in our country. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen now. The appeal is to the president not to sign the amendment bill into law before reviewing the fair use clause. And that was an update from reporter Theodore Mashele. More news shortly here on Today on eNCA, GSTV Channel 43. Stay with us.